Hello, I'm Piet Demeester working at iMinds and leading the Fed4FIRE project, which is a project on integration of FIRE testbeds, FIRE being the Future Internet Research and Experimentation Unit. Now, what is our goal? We want to offer experimentation as a service to small and medium enterprises, large companies, research institutes, universities. In order to do that, we have integrated 20 advanced major European testbeds together with a few from Korea, Australia and US, as you can see here. Now, what are we offering? We are offering facilities in IoT, sensor networks, smart cities, software-defined networking, cloud computing and 4G, 5G experimentation. Now I would like to show you a first-of experiment that has been done, which is unique worldwide. So we show a video streaming experiment where we have deployed 1,000 nodes in Europe and in US. And the concept of the experiment is the following. We have a number of clouds deployed, one commercial Amazon, then Cloudlet, which is a very large US project, and then the cloud facilities in Fed4FIRE, which is coming from the previous Bonfire project. Then we have also EU and US users that will consume the video streaming, and they are emulated. And then on top of that, of course, we have the very advanced part, which are the software-defined exchanges, which are deployed both at US side and in Europe. These support open flow, but at the same time they have also computing and storage resources. Important as well to mention is that all these nodes are interconnected via 1 gigabit per second layer 2 connections provided at the European side by GENI. That's what happens. So you have a video file which is uploaded, a new movie on Amazon, and then immediately it will be distributed to the other clouds because customers want to have fairly local access. And then you have an end user that wants to look at the video. He asks its local cloud provider. This one is providing it, but it is going through this smart exchange. There is a cache which is storing it, and then it goes to the end user. Of course, the next user will do the same, but now he will take the video from the cache. Of course, this happens all over the place. And if we look at the experiments, we have facilities deployed at 10 locations in US and EU. We have 1,000 servers, 350 virtual machines, and the info which is transferred is about 10 terabytes a day. And as mentioned, we use a 1 gigabit per second layer. Now, interesting is if we look at what is Google doing today. So Google is deploying actually a very similar network today. They are deploying their own technology, they're even building their own switches. Nobody knows what they are exactly doing. But companies, large and small, and research also want to do similar things, but they can never test it at a decent scale. Now, this is actually what this facility is offering people to test these latest cloud software-defined networking capabilities. Now, what is the approach? The first thing we do is we build a single proof of concept. For example, on the virtual wall, and you can see here, you see all the servers, you see the switches, you see the screens where you can look at the videos from the client side, and this is all configured using the GFET tool developed within Fed4FIRE. And you can indeed see the Cloud Lab, the Amazon, the Bonfire, the clients at both sides, and the SDXs. Now, the next step, if this works, is to make a deployment in US and Europe. We have the different testbeds, and again, we have used the same GFET tool to both set up and control the US side, which is this side, and the EU side experiments. What I will now show is the demo, but maybe before I do that, it's very important to mention that this demo is simultaneously shown in Washington and in Brussels at the Net Futures Conference. First of all, in Washington, it's demonstrated at the GENI, which is more or less the same as FIRE in Europe. And they are having today their top-level edition because it's coming to an end. So they invited Tom Khalil, who is Deputy Director of Technology and Innovation of the White House Office of Science and Technology. That's really high level. And Franz Cordova, who is the Director of the National Science Foundation. It's interesting to know that in the plenary session, Fed4FIRE is the only demonstration. This demo is the only one from European side. It's led by Fed4FIRE and demonstrated by iMinds. Also interesting to know that the Commissioner Oettinger was coming and visiting us at the NetFuture conference, all happening roughly at the same time. So now we will move to the demonstration. Okay, so now we look at the real-time screen of the experiments running. As you can see, you have the Amazon Cloud, the Cloud Lab, the bonfire. You see all the users I explained before. And now you see the traffic which is flowing really into this SDX-based network. If you look here, you see Amazon is distributing video films to the Cloud Lab, to the bonfire cloud, and this traffic is typically fluctuating quite a lot. If there's a new video, then it will be distributed. If there is not, there will be no traffic flowing. On the other hand, if you take the EU users, it's similar for the US users, you see that that's the red flow, taking their video from the cache here, and you see the traffic is typically in the range close to 1 gigabit per second. And this all is happening at the same time, and for example, if this link breaks, then part of the traffic is redirected to this backup link. So this gives you an impression of the experiment running real time on US and EU equipment.